Welcome to the Influence and Inspire podcast, episode 4. And my guest today is Aaron Wallace, the founder of Shear and Shine, who create male grooming products for black men. Welcome, Aaron.
Hi, thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you on, actually. So, Aaron, can you just tell me a bit more about yourself? How old are you, first of all?
I'm 31.
You're 31.
I'm yeah.
Okay.
I so I've kind of been self-employed for about 4 years now,
All right. Okay.
and I started with the barbershop,
Yeah.
which we opened in Croydon,
Mm-hmm.
and we ran that for a couple of years before, speaking to the customers. We're going into the grooming side of things and a product-based service and
Yeah.
moving into that kind of. We're evolving into that now.
Okay. So, just away from business, what do you do in your spare time?
In my spare time, I'm a bit of a nerd,
Right.
so
Okay.
I spend a lot of time on YouTube,
Yeah.
watching science shows, and um, I'm also into like science and technology and learning about the world, the future that we're going into.
Okay.
I'm also really into not I wouldn't say really into it, but I'm into my comic books, I'm into my Marvel, I'm into my anime,
Yeah. Yeah.
all that
So you're waiting for the
brainchild stuff.
you're waiting for the release of Black Panther, then I take it.
Mate, I'm already thinking about what my outfit's gonna be for Black Panther.
Excellent, excellent. All right, so back to business. I think you've stated that Shear and Shine wasn't your first business idea. Your first business idea was to have your own barbers.
Yeah. Well, Shear and Shine. Well, before I even opened the barbershop, I actually started. Myself and Lena had another business before that,
Right. Okay.
which was called Start Young,
Right.
and that was helping young people to get into business for themselves,
Mm-hmm.
helping them with their business plan, helping them to find funding, um, and helping them to get their businesses off the ground. So we did that for a couple of years before. Um, but then yeah, I started with Shear and Shine, the barber shop,
Yeah.
was where it started from,
Okay.
and I found that a lot of my own clients that I was cutting suffered from similar issues with their hair,
Yeah.
similar issues with their scalp,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it was a case of with black men, if a guy comes in and he's got dry scalp or whatever, and you say to him, "Yeah, bro, you got dry scalp," he's like, "Yeah, I've always had it."
Yes.
We've kind of just like accepted it. I've
Yeah.
got dry scalp. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Rather than that there's a product that could you don't have to live with dry scalp. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
With men, you kind of just accept it. Yeah, that's just how my hair is.
Yeah.
And I realized that the reason for that is because there's been no product that's been targeted towards us. There's been no one out there saying, "Here, guys, this is for you."
Mm.
So when they was asking me where do I even go to get products for my hair, I was like, "Do you know what? Um, I'm not actually sure."
Yeah.
And I'd have to direct them to like an obscure hair shop that might have a little range for black men.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and even myself, like when I was doing my own shopping, um, my and you're in the supermarket and you walk past the aisle, you see stuff for all different hair types, but nothing there is directed for black men.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I thought, like black men, they often see their barbers as their hair doctors, their hair
Yeah.
consultants.
Yeah.
So if anyone's going to provide this for them, it should be someone like me. So that's where I kind of started to look into that
Yeah.
angle of things and started to go down that road.
Yeah, so I suppose you're right because black men probably don't speak to anyone about their hair. So the barber is the
Yeah,
only one that actually gets
yeah,
close to a black man's hair. So yeah,
yeah,
it
yeah,
seems like the right place to have that conversation.
yeah, exactly.
So I just want to go back slightly. So when you said you started a business with your business partner Lena, so can we say big
Yeah,
up to Lena as well because I know she's your
yeah,
business
man.
partner.
Big up. Yeah, she's here now. Big up to Lena.
Yeah. Um, so you started a business. So what made you actually think about what made motivate you to start your own business in the first place?
Start in the first place. I mean, I've
Yeah.
always kind of. I was in a place. I was working at the time.
Yep.
I was actually working for a charity. I was working for the Prince's Trust at the time,
Okay.
and I was coming to the end of my contract, and it's just something that I'd always wanted to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was coming to the end of the contract, and I had an opportunity to extend the contract, or use the savings that I'd saved and try and do something that was a bit bigger.
Yeah.
And like my dad kind of inspired me
Mm-hmm.
indirectly, in that he's one of those people that always has amazing ideas.
Yeah.
All like since I was young, he's always had so many ideas,
Yeah.
ideas, 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 but he's never actually followed through with anything, like
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
actively.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the big changes for me was when I saw one of the ideas that my dad had told me about, and then a couple years later, I saw that very same idea on the TV being advertised by someone else. And I
Right.
was like, wow, that was my dad's
Yep.
idea
Yep.
that he told me about
Mm.
3, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And now this company is out and making millions of pounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I thought, what? I don't want to be the same and have all these ideas and never actually go for it.
Yeah.
Like, and you know what I mean? And say that I put 100% in. So I was like, at that point, I was like, what? I need to really just go all in and put 100% in and try and launch my own and see where it goes.
Right.
And that was kind of my motivation.
Good. Good. So I think you've told me a bit about why you've chosen a black male grooming product. Did you ever dabble with the idea of choosing a female grooming product for black women?
Um, Not at the moment.
Hmm.
It's not really something I'm thinking of at the moment,
No.
because I think that women have a lot of options.
Yeah,
Black women have
they
a
do.
lot of options. They're taken care of. They have a lot going on. A lot of choice
Hmm.
for their hair. They maintain their hair more. They do more different stuff to their hair. So it
Yeah.
makes sense that they're gonna have a lot more options than the men.
Yeah.
And also, my background is a barber, so my
Mm.
background is working with men. So when I created the business, I wanted to create it to service a need.
Yeah.
So it's not just about reaching as many people as I can and making as much as I can. It's
Mm.
about what is the need that I'm trying to fulfill here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? What is the goal? And for me, the goal is, one, to provide an option for black men to have something,
Yeah.
and two, we're also trying to play our little part in helping to change the perceptions of black men as well,
Of course.
because
Of course.
we try to show black men in the best light possible and
Exactly.
encourage them to take pride in themselves, in their
Hmm.
appearance,
Yeah.
inside, outside, and be the best them that they can be. So we try to push that narrative forward as well.
Mm.
Um, yeah.
Excellent. So I was going to ask you another question because I read an article on you, and one of the comments was it's from another barber who owns another barber shop, and the comment
Uh,
was, "Oh, yeah, well done, Aaron, for doing this. We've all thought about doing it, but you've actually gone out there and done that." So I suppose that extra motivation that you grew up with, and that you saw your dad with ideas, and that's probably what's marked you apart from the other
yeah,
barbers who have had these
yeah,
ideas.
yeah, and that's it. So many people have great ideas, but it's the execution.
Yeah.
It's the execution. I always say to people, sometimes it's not even about the idea.
Mm.
Sometimes it's just you can have a crappy idea and it's just executed so well that people buy into it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like, so I really think that it's just about really being dedicated and
Mm.
following through and understanding that when you go into it, it's going to be an uphill. I think that entrepreneurship is one of the most difficult challenges that you can give yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's mentally challenging, spiritually challenging. It's just not an it's if it was an easy thing, everyone would do it and
Yeah.
everyone would be
Exactly.
a millionaire. It's a very difficult, and sometimes we see people glamorizing it
Yeah.
and making it look like it's easy and you just sip champagne on a yacht after a year. That's that's not the reality.
No.
The reality is that it really is like pushing a boulder up a mountain. It's difficult,
Yeah.
and a lot of people go into it with the wrong mindset, thinking
Mm.
that it's going to be easy and that you're just going to make a stack load of cash, and then
Yeah.
when that doesn't happen, they get discouraged and drop out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think people, you need to go into it with the right mindset and understand that it's going to be very difficult. It's probably going to be one of the most difficult things that you embark on.
Yeah.
But and that's why it needs to be more. than just about making money. It needs
Mm.
to be also about a passion as well.
Yeah.
And like I said, like for me, it's about servicing a need as well. It's a passion.
Yeah.
It has
Yeah.
to be a passion.
Yeah. So just following on from that, you've probably, just to summarize, if I was an 18-year-old and I was like, Aaron, I want to start my own business, what advice would you give me?
I would say it's funny because I actually had this conversation with my nephew a couple of days ago, and I said to him, one thing you got to remember is it's not about you,
Yeah.
it's about your customer. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not about you wanting to make money.
Mm.
That's great, and that's a byproduct of it. And of course, we want to make money as well, but that's not
Yeah.
the driving factor.
No.
The driving factor is you want to fulfill a need. So you look out into the world, and you see something that people are in need of. You think, okay, this is being done that way, but it could be done better, or that's they're overlooking this part, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's something missing. You identify the need first, and then you're like, I want to challenge that need.
Yeah.
You gotta have the why, because what you don't want, and this is what I was saying to him, is you
Mm-hmm.
don't want to have a product that no one really needs and no one really wants,
Yeah.
and then you're trying to strong arm your friends and family into buying it. And then your friends and family, they buy it once to
Yeah.
support you, but
Out
then
of
outside
duty.
of that it doesn't, yeah, out of duty,
Yeah.
but then outside of that no one else is going to owe you any duty,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
outside of that it's not going to go anywhere
Yeah.
unless it's fulfilling the need.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so that's the advice that I would give.
Okay. Excellent. So just a bit more about your product. So could you just give me an idea of what the product range is at the moment?
So we have a beard oil,
Yep.
um which has peppermint and eucalyptus oil, and what it does is it helps to clear the pores and
Mm-hmm.
really put your beard in a condition for optimal growth.
Yep.
So, and oil helps to trap in the moisture as well. So after you've moisturized and you've put the moisture into your beard, you put the beard oil on as well, and that traps the moisture in,
Mm-hmm.
makes it look nice and healthy and shiny.
Yep.
We have a shampoo, an argan shampoo.
Mm-hmm.
Argan has vitamin E. It's really good for hair growth as well, just hair health in general.
Yep.
And a conditioner, which um which a lot of men are starting to get onto now, because they realize that by conditioning your hair,
Mm.
it does exactly what it says it does. It conditions your hair. It puts it in a healthier condition.
Yeah.
So when you condition your hair, what happens is when you get a haircut, it makes your haircuts look cleaner because the
Okay.
hair is healthier. So the shampoo, conditioner,
Mm-hmm.
and the beard oils. We also have fragrances as well on the site. But
Right.
the conditioner, the shampoo, conditioner, and the beard oils are our main star products.
Okay. And I assume the shampoo and conditioner also deals with the dry scalp issue.
Yeah, yeah. And we also have a deep cleansing shampoo as well, which is if you really are suffering from dry scalp,
Yeah.
or if you use a lot of products in your hair like Dax and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The deep cleansing one would be better for you if you've got that hair type, because that will
Okay.
really get in there.
Okay. And are you likely to expand this product range?
Yeah, I mean we've got plans to really take it as far as we can.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we want to expand, but we want to do things in the right way. So
Yeah.
we're not trying to rush anything. We want to make sure that when we do expand the range, we maintain the same quality.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we definitely do want to expand, and I want Shear and Shine to kind of be the first point of call for black men
Yeah.
whenever he's thinking of anything to do with his grooming or
Mm-hmm.
his appearance, or he wants to look good or feel good. I want him to think of Shear and Shine first.
Yeah.
So we want to expand the range to cater to any of your needs when it comes to grooming.
All right. Excellent. Have you found it difficult to get shops to stock your product?
Um, it's been a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
We're stocked in quite a few places, but it is a challenge, and
Right.
it's about growing the brand
Mm-hmm.
as well, like growing the name of the brand. And the longer you're around, the more confidence people have in the brand.
Yeah.
As a new brand, sometimes people are a bit worried to take you on because you haven't built any credibility yet.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know if your brand is going to be around in the next couple of years, in the next year or so.
Yeah.
They don't know if they stock you, are people going to buy it?
Mm-hmm.
So the retailers have all of these kind of concerns
Yeah,
before
yeah.
they make a purchase, which
Hmm.
does make it a challenge.
Yeah,
But with business, like I said, you go into it expecting challenges,
yeah,
and you
yeah.
just have to think, how do you get around that? And how we've kind of gotten around that is just by being consistent
Hmm.
and gradually building our customer base, and staying around and staying relevant.
Yeah,
And with the barbers, the same thing. Barber shops, a lot of the Afro Caribbean barber shops,
yeah,
they're not known for selling products on
yeah,
site.
yeah.
It's not really, and so that's what I've been doing, is speaking to a lot of the barbers and explaining to them that you guys are missing a trick, because
Mm,
in the European salons they all have a retail section where they
yes.
sell products
Yeah.
and they upsell, and they make about 30% of their gross revenue by doing that.
Right.
So by us not doing that, we're actually missing a huge chunk that you could be bringing into your own business.
Mm,
See what I'm saying? So when you explain it to them, it's not just about what I want; it's also about helping them.
yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
you go into partnership with them. Um, so yeah, that's kind of how we're getting around that challenge. But it's about building relationships.
Yeah, so I was actually going to mention the barber shops actually, so I'm glad you brought that up. So and I do totally understand. And while barber shops they don't have a retail section, you'd always find them selling knockoff clothes
Yeah,
or, or aftershaves, etc. But
yeah,
do any barbers actually use your products? So
yeah. We've got quite a few barbers that are using the products now. And it's going well. It's going well. Like I said, the word of mouth is starting to get round.
hmm,
And what's really helped us is that even if the barbers haven't heard of us themselves, or the barbers are not aware of us, the customers are going to the barbers and
yeah,
asking about us.
okay.
So that's been helping a lot.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
All right. So if is there any way you think listeners can support you in getting your brand in local shops?
Yeah. I mean, just request us to your barbers,
Hmm.
because, and this is another conversation I had with quite a few barbershops, is that you're selling hats and you're
Hmm.
selling t-shirts and you're selling all of this other stuff.
Yeah,
But you're a barber.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You got to think, this, you're a barber. You deal with hair, so
Mm,
everything that you sell should be orientated around branding towards hair.
yeah,
That's what you. Do you know what I mean? It makes sense.
yeah.
If
That's
I
their
go to get a
business.
haircut, it makes sense for me to buy products for my hair at the same time. It doesn't necessarily make sense for me to buy a t-shirt from the barbers.
Mm,
So this is, and also this is what your customers are requesting, because they're coming online to my site and they're buying it through us. They could be buying it through you, and you could also be making a profit off that.
yeah.
So yeah, so that's kind of how we building relationships with the barbers.
Okay. So at present, where can listeners purchase Shear and Shine products?
The best place to purchase at the moment is on the website, which
Hmm.
is shearandshine.co.uk,
Yeah.
and you can also find us on Twitter and Instagram, which is also Shear and Shine.
All right.
Oh, and Facebook
And
as well, which
Facebook.
is Shear and Shine UK.
And I know there's a couple of well local to some people shops that are now selling Shear and Shine. So I know there's a shop in Lewisham and there's one in Walthamstow now, isn't there?
Yeah, yeah. And there's well, we got some in Paris and some in America that are stocking us as well.
Oh,
So
excellent, excellent.
we're getting out there.
All right. So what I'll do is I'll add your website details to the show notes so people can pick that up.
Yeah.
So I suppose I want to ask what's next for Aaron Wallace then. So how do you see
Um,
where do you see yourself in the next 5 years, Aaron?
I see the brand evolving. I mean, I see the brand evolving, and I see us growing, and I see us taking it to the next level. I think that what my plan is for Sheer and Shine to grow in the UK.
Hmm.
Like I said, become the first point of call for black men when they think of grooming in the UK.
Yeah.
And then once you've done that, you take the same idea and you take it outside of the UK. You take
Hmm.
it to America, you take it to Africa, you take it to other Brazil, you take it to wherever there's a higher demographic of black men, which means that there's going to be a high need for the product. And you take it out there and you grow it.
Yeah. That sounds good.
That's
That
the
sounds
plan.
excellent.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. I hope all goes well. And so, lastly, I've kind of strong armed you into giving a prize for one of our listeners. So, we want to give a prize for the first person to write a review on this interview on any of the platforms that
Mhm.
it comes on. And could you tell us what the prize will be, Erin?
Okay, so we're planning to launch a brand new beard oil. It's actually not even on the website yet, but it's going to be launched very shortly, and we're going to give away one of those to the winner.
Okay, so exclusive beard oil. That's excellent.
Yes, it's an exclusive beard oil.
All right, Erin. Well, all I can say is thanks for your time today and good luck in your endeavors. And I hope this brand picks up. And I'll be going on your website to get some of that shampoo and conditioner.
Great, awesome.
All right. Thanks for your time.
Uh, no problem. Thank you.